So, you're looking to buy a showroom car that is decently recent, say 2015 to 2020, and when you get to see the car, you don't know what to do or what to look for in order to make sure that the price is fair. So in this video, I'll show you some steps and tips that you can use to at least get a fair deal. What we have here today is a Lexus NX200 Turbo 2016 with the F Sport package. So, first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the exterior condition. So take a first walk around, and in a nice bright sunlight, take a look at all the body, if there's any scratches, if anything looks odd. Here we have this ding over here. Everything else look alright. So take a particular look at the fitting between the panels and the hood and the doors, if everything looks aligned normally. So on this car, at least everything looks good. Next, take a look at the tires. Check and see if there's enough tread, any damage on the rim. This case, everything looks right. Next, you can also look at the windshield if there is anything cracked on it. Here we have a small chip, and it's definitely something that's gonna have to be bargained on, because it could get bigger, and if it gets bigger, well, the windshield going to be in need of changing. Next, if you have a sunroof, just take a look and see if it's all well closed. Everything on the roof seems alright. Now that the outside is done, we're moving into the engine condition. So start the car and listen. Everything sounds normal, no exhaust noise. No smoke coming out. Nothing seems to be dropping on the floor. So seems like everything is good. Now, while the hood is open, you also want to take the time and check that all the bolts are normal. Nothing seems out of line for this kind of car. It's clean, it's straight as it's supposed to be, no rust. There is a little bit of surface rust over here, but I wouldn't worry about it since it's not everywhere. So to me, everything seems alright in here. So for this car, I'm going to go ahead and say that the engine condition is checked. Now the interior condition. So take a look at all the fabric inside. If anything seems torn, The seats, they seem like new. All the badges, everything looks clean. In the back as well, nothing to say. This car seems like it hasn't been used much. The electronic door opens on its own, so that's good. It's not missing the baggage, you know, that's supposed to hide your baggages. This plate is there. If you have the spare tire, it's there. I suppose also all the equipment to change the tire are also there. Everything looks clean. No scratches on the bumper over here. Also closes on its own. So far so good. Now I also like to test all the windows. Everything opens, everything closes. That's good. Test the sunroof as well. It seems like it works. Next, your wiper. They work perfectly. The rear one as well. So that's good. The horn works. So far, really, it really seems like this is a fair deal. So, interior checked. Now onto the test drive. And this one, you should really not mess with it. It's one of the crucial steps. Make sure that you drive the car long enough so that the car heats up to normal temperature. Take it into city where there's a lot of stops and going on. You'll get to test the brakes. Take it also onto the highway. You'll get to test the stability of the car. If the steering wheel wants to go right or left at high speed, if there is any vibrations from the wheels, if there is any sounds that come on. So you have to test it in city and highway. Don't be afraid to take your time. And if the salesman absolutely wants to stick with you on the ride, ask him to remain quiet as most as possible, and turn off the radio. You want to get to listen to all the sounds, the potential problems that could be avoided only by hearing them. You don't want to miss out on any small noise. So take your time, test it, drive it, check the brakes, any sound while you're trying to brake, any wind noise. On an expensive car like this, you don't want too much wind noise. You want it to be quiet inside. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that the test drive is checked. Next, the mileage. Now you should have a fairly idea about what mileage you should be expecting on this car. So you check the exterior, the engine, you drove the car, and then you check the mileage. So this one has 95k, and based on how clean it is, based on how it drives, and I would believe it. So no problem there as well. So mileage check. Next, VIN ID. You really don't want to spend $30,000 only to find out you have a stolen car in your hand. The police is gonna take your car back, but it's not gonna help you get your money back. So you have here the most important VIN plate. You have your VIN over here. Check and see if it's an original plate. If it's the fake one, it's gonna be very easy to remove it. This one, you can see that it's not possible to remove it by only using your fingertips. It seems like a legit VIN plate, so that's good. Check and see that the VIN matches the VIN which is here, and take just a simple look to make sure that it hasn't been tampered with, so it looks original. You even have the small mark over here that you can take a picture of. This is kind of on the new cars. I haven't seen it much. So by taking a picture of it, I at least got the VIN on Google search. So at least in my mind, I'm confident the car is not cloned. There's that. On this Lexus, there's a third place where you can also check the VIN, which is under the passenger seat, under this plastic cover. And you check your VIN, make sure it matches. In this case, of course, it matches. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and mark the VIN check as checked. Then last thing on this list is the cluster lights. First thing to do is turn off the car, then put it on accessory on. So you want to kind of turn on the key or push once on the push start button, but you don't want to start the car. You want to check out all the lights available. Is the check engine there? Is everything there? See, all the lights come on, so they haven't been deactivated or just manually removed. So you know that if there was a problem, they could light up. Everything available. Because sometimes what they do is, if the check engine is on, they're gonna remove the cluster, break the actual LED light behind the check engine light, so it doesn't light up. But since it's lighting up over here, and when I start the car, everything is turning off, I know this cluster hasn't been tampered with. So if there was a problem, it would at least show me. This is the parking brake, so that's normal. This is the seat belt that I haven't put on. So everything looks good. I'm gonna go ahead and check over here. So at the end of this test, I'm pretty happy with this car. There's only two things that I can bargain on, which is the windshield with the small chip, as well as the dent on the passenger door. I would go ahead and try and bargain on these things. Usually the dealer, if it's a dealer, is gonna actually try and fix them instead of lower the price. If it's someone normal selling the car who isn't a dealer, you can probably negotiate on the price. So thank you for watching. I hope it was helpful, and I'm going to try and do as much different brands. There's one more thing I haven't mentioned, is go on Google before you go and check the car. Try and see any common issues that could happen on the car you're looking for. In this particular case, there is no common issues that I can manually check, visually check on the car, so I haven't mentioned it. But if there are on any other car, it's good to check them on Google before you go and actually look at the car. So thank you for watching.